animals never thirst. Ah, the Emir nodded. Wowie, wow, wow to you too, Admiral. Meanwhile, Admiral Bluster was watching the whole thing through binoculars from his hospital window. Lynch, I want those princesses out of here, and I want Casey clobbered. Send Nurse Wilson over there. Tell her Casey is sick and needs a very invasive physical. Nurse Wilson, a woman with the bedside manner of a hungry shark, marched toward Casey's quarters. At the same time, Grimsby's jeep roared into the base. Casey, Lynch whispered to the commander. The Admiral is here. Iron Pants Grimsby. Hide the girls, Casey hissed. Put the princesses in the air raid shelter. Put the Emir in the laundry shack. And get me a uniform that doesn't smell like coconut oil. Chapter 4. The Laughing Gas Caper. The stress of the inspection was getting to everyone. Ensign Pringle, tasked with the base beautification project, decided the best way to keep the men happy was to fix their teeth. He'd discovered a tank of nitrous oxide laughing gas in the back of the medical supply tent. Sir, Pringle suggested to Casey, if everyone is relaxed, Grimsby won't notice that the radar dish is being used as a barbecue pit. Just don't leak it, Percy, Casey warned. Naturally, Percy leaked it. The laughing gas began to waft through the vents of the command center, just as Admiral Bluster decided to end his illness and reclaim his throne. Bluster marched into his office, ready to point out Casey's failures to Grimsby. Admiral Grimsby, Bluster declared, striking a pose, I have returned from the brink of death to show you the absolute depravity of this. He stopped. He inhaled. A strange, tingly feeling began to tickle his toes. Bluster, Grimsby barked. Bluster looked at Grimsby. It's a tuber. A magnificent tuber. Have you lost your mind, man? Grimsby roared. Wowie, wow, wow. Casey and Pringle watched from the doorway, horrified. The gas, Casey whispered. He's higher than a weather balloon. Lynch, Bluster shouted, pointing at his aide. You're a dummy, a big fat licker of spittles. Send a message to the world. I love you all. I love the fish. I love the garters. Grimsby stared in silent horror. Medical officer. Get this man a sedative, and a straitjacket, and perhaps a job in the circus. As Bluster was hauled away, giggling and trying to hug a confused pelican, Casey turned to Grimsby. Sir, it's combat fatigue. The man is a hero, really. He just really likes teapots. Chapter 5. Barnaby the Beast. Just as things began to settle, a new terror emerged from the swampy lagoons of Prawn Harbor. A giant monitor lizard, which the crew had named Barnaby the Beast, had developed a taste for human belongings. Specifically, it had a taste for leather. Admiral Bluster, now recovered and more vengeful than ever, had decided to set a trap for Casey. He'd placed his own wallet, stuffed with $62,000 of the base payroll, in unmarked bills, in a conspicuous spot on the beach. When Casey's crew steals this, Bluster told Lynch, we'll have them for grand larceny. It's foolproof. Unfortunately, Barnaby the Beast got there first. The giant lizard waddled out of the surf, flicked its tongue, and swallowed the wallet whole. Sir, Lynch screamed, the lizard. It ate the payroll. Catch it, Bluster yelled. That lizard is worth more than my career. The lizard, however, had found a new friend, Ensign Pringle. Barnaby had followed Pringle back to the barracks, lured by the scent of Pringle's world-famous peanut butter sandwiches. Look, Skip! Pringle shouted happily as Casey walked into the shack. I found a mascot. I call him Sydney. He likes peanut butter and long walks on the beach. Casey looked at the 6-foot lizard lounging on Pringle's bunk. Percy, that lizard is holding something in its mouth. It's a wallet, sir, Pringle said. I think he found it. That's Bluster's ID card. Casey gasped. Sydney didn't just find a wallet, Percy. He ate the Admiral's bait. Commander. Bluster's voice boomed from outside. I know you have my wallet. I have witnesses. You and your pirates are under arrest. Bluster burst in, followed by a cadre of guards. Aha, I've got you. He stopped dead, staring at the giant lizard. What in the name of Neptune is that? That's Sydney, sir, Casey said coolly. The key witness for the defense. The lizard stole my wallet? Bluster screamed. I'll have him court-martialed. I'll have him turned into luggage. You can't prove a thing, Admiral, Casey said, unless you want to put Sydney on the stand. But I should warn you, he's very sensitive about his childhood. If you call him stupid, he gets bitey. Chapter 6. The Great Court-Martial. The trial of the Navy versus Ensign Pringle and Sydney, the lizard, was held the following day. Admiral Bluster acted as the prosecutor, pacing back and forth with a venomous grin. Your Honors. Bluster addressed the board of officers. We are here to discuss a theft of $62,000, stolen by this bumbling ensign and his prehistoric accomplice. I object, Pringle shouted. Sydney is a victim of circumstance. He thought the wallet was a very expensive sandwich. Order, the judge barked. Commander Casey, you are representing the defendant. Where is the evidence? Right here, sir, Casey said, gesturing to the back of the room. The door swung open, and Pringle led Sydney in on a very thick leash. The lizard was wearing a small sailor's cap and looking remarkably bored. This is an outrage, Bluster shrieked. Get that monster out of here. Not until we present Exhibit A, Casey said. Sydney, if you please. Pringle held out a peanut butter sandwich. Sydney's eyes widened. He opened his mouth, and with a wet thwack, he spat the leather wallet onto the judge's desk. There it is, Lynch cried out. The marked bills, the serial numbers match. The judge opened the wallet. Wait a minute. These aren't marked bills. This is play money? From a junior admiral board game? Bluster froze. He looked at Lynch. Lynch looked at his feet. Sir, Lynch whispered. I thought we shouldn't use real money for a trap. I thought you were joking about the payroll. You. Case dismissed. The judge shouted over the sound of the scuffle. And someone get that lizard a sandwich. And someone get that lizard a sandwich. Chapter 7. The $62,000 boom. The real payroll, as it turned out, was still missing. It had been lost by Pringle earlier in the week during a particularly confusing game of hide the canvas bag near the base's old ornamental cannon. We have to find it, Skip, Pringle whispered as they stood on the pier. Grimsby is coming back for the final tally. If we don't have that 62 grand, we're all going to be scrubbing decks in Antarctica. Where did you last see it, Percy? Casey asked. I think I used it to plug the barrel of the old Victory cannon, Pringle admitted. It was rattling in the wind. And the bag was the perfect size. Casey stared at him. You stuffed $62,000 into a muzzle-loading cannon? It seemed like a good idea at the time. Sir, they rushed to the ceremonial plaza, where Admiral Bluster was already standing with Grand Admiral Grimsby. And now, sir, Bluster said, puffing out his chest, to conclude your visit, we shall fire the traditional victory salute. A tribute to naval discipline. No, wait, Casey shouted, running toward them. Too late, Casey, Bluster sneered. Fire. The gunner pulled the lanyard. There was a deafening boom. But instead of a cannonball, the sky was suddenly filled with green confetti. Thousands upon thousands of small, crisp bills began to rain down upon Prawn Harbor. It's raining money, a sailor shouted. My payroll, Grimsby yelled, grabbing a handful of bills from the air. It's being shot out of a cannon. Bluster, what is the meaning of this flamboyant display of waste? Bluster stood with his mouth open, $100 bill stuck to his forehead. Aye, it's a new incentive program, sir. Payday. With a bang, Casey stepped forward, saluting smartly. Actually, Admiral, it's a demonstration of our new rapid distribution system. Ensures the money reaches every corner of the base simultaneously. Grimsby looked at the falling cash, then at Casey, then at the sputtering Bluster. He began to laugh. A deep, terrifying laugh. rapid distribution.